Hi, everybody. Today I'm presenting on Barry Vacker's essay Dark Skies Philosophy. It starts in the chill gaze. This reading argues that Dark Skies movement isn't just about astronomy or saving the night sky. Vacker treats it as a cultural and philosophical wake up call, a way to rethink how technology, media, and artificial light have changed our minds, our behavior, and even our sense of meaning. He wants us to recognize how disconnected we've become from the cosmos and how much our reality is shaped by screens, artificial brightness, and constant stimulation. He believes the return to darkness and looking at the stars can reshape our thinking in a deeper and healthier way. One quote that really stood out from the reading was, "What if the dark skies movement might be the most important long term idea for our civilization?" And it's interesting because it really does seem true. Because if we start to look outwards, that means we're focusing less on ourselves and more around what's out there and trying to discover what is life. He argues that we've replaced natural darkness with what he calls sky glow, a man made dome of brightness that surrounds cities, suburbs, and even rural areas. As he puts it, dark skies is absolutely about looking away and away from humanity and thinking about the cosmic scale rather than purely a human one. One of the concepts that is different between the hot gaze and the chill gaze, and that's the hot gaze describes today's media world, screen based, overstimulated, hyperactive. The hot gaze is filled with artificial lights and glowing screens. It's fast, reactive, emotional, and nonstop. Some examples are like TikTok, Instagram, LED billboards, breaking news. Everything's bright, urgent, and always demanding our attention. In contrast, the chill gaze is slow, quiet, and reflective, outward looking. He describes it as the outward view towards the distant and infinite dark skies. Instead of looking at ourselves, we're looking outwards. And that definitely has a psychological effect. We feel more connected to something bigger than our individual lives. So, key point number 2, technology as environment. This reading definitely connects strongly to the course model of technology as environment. Vacker describes modern light pollution as an entire artificial environment we now inhabit. He writes that electric light has created that 24/7 planetary civilization, an electric galaxy of light bulbs, streetlights, neon signs, and lights. It's not technology we pick up and put down. It's the technology we live inside of. That's why he uses the phrase sky glow civilizations. Instead of darkness being natural, brightness has become the default. We don't just use technology, we dwell in it. Key point number 3, cosmic sublime. Another essential idea is from the reading is that the cosmic sublime, an emotional and philosophical reaction to seeing real dark skies, is real. If you've ever been somewhere truly dark and looked up, the feeling is overwhelming. Vacker says if you've seen the Milky Way and truly dark skies, then you know the feelings. Modern philosophies call it the sublime. And the cosmic sublime does something interesting. It temporarily erases all human noise, so that's like the trends, politics, social media, and stress, and it puts us in direct contact with something ancient and vast. He writes that under dark skies, visitors are quietly transformed into members of species, the human species. That shift from individual identity to species identity is central to his philosophy. Key point number 4, minimalism and sustainability. Vacker argues that our modern world is built on excess, too much light, too much noise, and too much consumption. Dark Skies encourages minimalism, an aesthetic of simplicity, quiet, and clarity. He writes, minimalism is the aesthetic of less is more. The dark sky experience is generally quiet and free of noise. He also emphasizes that dark skies practices reduce and real harm. Less energy consumption, less harm for wildlife, and then less risk for cancer. This links directly to technology as destruction. The hot, bright, and overstimulated world is destructive, environmentally, physically, and psychologically. The chill, dark, minimalist world is restorative. Here are some contemporary examples. LED billboards in 24/7 lit cities are the technology as environment. Instagram and TikTok doom scrolling. That's the hot gaze. SpaceX Falcon 9 spaceship. It's the chill gaze and futurism looking outwards. Critique and reflection. There are a lot of strengths in Thacker's argument. First, he does a great job connecting psychological experience with the physical environment of light. I found it interesting how he explains that overstimulation and burnout aren't just emotional problems, they're environmental ones. His ideas that we need darkness just as much as we need light was a really powerful way to think about balance in modern culture. Another strength is that he ties dark skies to the big philosophical questions: identity, species unity, and the meaning of existence. However, there are some weaknesses with this. Some of his ideas feel a little bit idealistic. Many people simply don't have access to dark skies, and he doesn't fully explain how realistically disconnect in a world built around digital technology. And some readers might even say he romanticizes nature a little bit too heavily. But for me, I don't think so. I think the reading actually changed the way I think about technology. I never really considered darkness as something valuable. This reading made me realize how much we take it for granted, and how much rare the natural light sky might actually be for most people. The idea that the chill gaze really struck with me because it explained why looking at the stars can feel so calming, grounding, and meaningful. Thacker ends the essay almost like a challenge. He writes, changing the direction of the gaze, our philosophy of existence. And he also says we need new dreams. His message is that restoring darkness isn't just environmental, it's cultural and philosophical. Dark skies helps us imagine new futures. Changing the direction of the gaze changes our philosophy of existence. Dark skies is a way of rethinking technology, culture, and society, and it offers us a healthier future for humans and the planet. Let's start looking outward instead of inward, and let's slow down. Thank you.